Hey Dan, would this parasite be able to make me, I don't know, like climb a really, really, really tall tree, but super, super fast?
Welcome to the Mind Your Movies podcast. I'm Ryan.
I'm Venom. I'm Shane.
Two people over there. Well, person and a symbiote. Um, and today we're talking the highest grossing movies, some of the highest grossing movies of all time.
Yeah, top
Um,
100.
Top 100. I don't remember which ones these are actually in terms of number, but
I
they're in there.
think
They're pretty
I
high.
I think Lilo and Stitch is around 50 and Venom is around 90.
Oh, okay. So
So
Venom's a little bit
Venom, yeah, Venom is going to get kicked off the list soon. These are not adjusted for inflation, so mostly in the 21st century, the movies on this list. But yeah, we picked the recent Lilo and Stitch live action, uh, partially live action, and we picked Venom. I picked Venom, the first one. So yeah, those are the movies we're talking about today. We're gonna get full in-depth spoiler discussion. It should be fun. I think these are both fun movies to talk about. Two just crazy guys.
with teeth. Look at these guys. If you're on
Great
our YouTube, we now
crazy
have.
guys with crazy teeth. And you know they're a little bit insane. Sometimes they act out, but they have good hearts. And that's what really matters.
Ohana.
Uh, and before we get into the main movies we're going to talk about this episode, we are going to recommend or we'll discuss a couple other things that we've seen recently that we wanted to bring up. I might just kick it off with Predator Badlands. Watch this. Got to see it in the theater, guys. If this thing is still in the theaters around you, go out there, buy a ticket, and watch Predator Badlands. It's badass. It's incredible. Don't It's PG-13. It's a little funnier than maybe Predator is typically the typical tone of a Predator movie, but there's still there's a lot of great action, and the gore is really not toned down that much at all. It's just that it's robots and aliens. So they like have blue or purple or white quote unquote blood. So they're able to like rip things limb from limb, chop things in half, beheadings, all this insane stuff, and somehow it's all PG-13 because the MPAA is completely idiotic. But but yeah, so for adults who enjoy R-rated Predator movies, yeah, it's incredible. The action's great, and I'll say this is like I love that we're living in this post John Wick world where action movies are good and the action is like great. You can tell what's going on. The pre John Wick world was shaky cam. It was you could barely tell what was going on. It went in Taken 3, which might I'm not sure if that came out before or after John Wick, but it's on the borderline. There's a clip in Taken 3 when Liam Neeson tries to climb a fence, and there's about 12 cuts of him each step, and in like 2 seconds, there's about 12 cuts just for him to climb a fence, and it's absolutely unwatchable. And that was the state of action movies. And I think John Wick brought us back, not even back, evolved us beyond that to appreciating good action choreography. And this one does it with like a really cool sci-fi world I cared about a predator. The predator looks so crazy. He looks crazier than this Venom right behind me. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a crazy Venom right behind me. And on not literally right behind me, it's on the green screen. But uh he
Literally
looks
about to eat you.
this predator looks absolutely insane, completely insane character design, and you care about him, and you care about his story and the characters. I loved it. I just loved it overall. I thought the action was great. I loved the sci-fi world, and I appreciated the characters and the story. And it was just a great time at the movies. And it's a nice like it's nonstop action too. Like the pacing, it just goes and goes and goes. It really doesn't overstay its welcome like a lot of big budget movies do nowadays, I feel like. So this one is a high recommend for me. I loved it. And I think it's totally worth seeing in the theater. So I wanted to recommend that to people.
Nice. That's awesome. I think you've talked to me about this movie a few times now. And every time I'm like, dang, I should go see it. And I still haven't. It's at that era, I think, in theaters um, where now it only has like the most obsolete times. And so it's like,
Mm.
do I really want to go to the movies at 10 o'clock at night on a work night, or even on a not work night? Honestly, I'm getting old. Like, man, I got to bring my cane in and
It-
everything.
I'll tell you what, this is a good one for a 10 o'clock. Just get a nice big old thing of popcorn, get a sody pop, and just watch Predator just being great, incredible. There's so much. I don't even want to talk about the specifics of how cool this is, but there's so much cool shit in this movie. It's awesome.
We also spoiler or little insider knowledge here. We almost there was like a moment where we almost
Yeah,
did Predator Badlands as a half episode, and then neither of us ended up seeing it right away, and we ended up just going with something else at the time. I kind of forget.
Begonia,
Oh, right, Begonia. Yeah,
which was a cool episode anyway, because we
yeah,
compared Begonia and Save the Green Planet, so it worked out. But Predator Battle, I mean, this movie's pretty awesome. So I would highly recommend. But yeah, I guess that's all I have to say about it, really.
nice. Well, I'll kick off with a also in theaters one, which is The Running Man. Um,
I also
this
saw the Running Man.
Oh shoot, nice. Yeah, I don't know about you, but I enjoyed this one quite a bit.
I did. I had a little bit lower expectations because the reviews were a little mixed, and it's a little messy, a little long, but I still liked it.
Yeah, definitely a little long. I mean, it's almost 2 hours. I don't think it's over two
I
hours.
think it's over 2 hours. I think
Yeah.
it's like 2:12 or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But I will say I enjoyed it quite a bit. I thought it was like pretty fun action. I thought like the whole like concept is pretty cool and much better done than the was it 1987 or something
Yeah.
Arnold one.
Yeah. The original
Um
is bad.
yeah, I actually don't even think I recommend people to like check it out. It's like not even if you like the new one, don't go back to that. But I did like this one quite a bit. I thought Glenn Powell did really well. I'm excited to see kind of him doing more stuff. Like Hitman was a lot of fun. I think he has this kind of action comedy charisma to him that works.
Yeah, it did. The movie's tone is a little weird because at times it's very like angry, and also Glenn Powell's character is like very angry, but then also Glenn Powell's persona is very charismatic and more like lighthearted type of an action star. So it like clashed a little bit in the tone of the movie, and that was the thing with the movie too. Like there are parts of it where it's like, oh, children are dying and they can't, no one can afford medicine for their children, and it's this horrific dystopian world, and it's very sad. And then it's like funny in the next moment, and it's a little, the tone was a little bit weird in how it was going back and forth between serious and comedic. But but yeah, overall
Yeah.
I did enjoy it. A lot of interesting themes, and it's sadly relevant to our world and AI and deepfakes and all that, and we're not going to be able to trust anything we see uh anywhere pretty much
Yeah.
extremely soon. So, yeah.
True. And also just with the themes of like, anti-establishment and all this stuff that's and us being controlled and kind of all this stuff. And it's funny to me that this and The Long Walk both came out this year because they both deal with on that front kind of similar themes. The Long Walk really doesn't get into like deep fakes or anything, um but they both deal with
Authoritarian
yeah,
worlds
which feels very relevant, but oddly also both written by Stephen King under his pseudonym back
in the
and
70s.
back in the 70s and about a different time in America that also probably was under very similar feelings, right? As maybe some people are today. So, um, anyways, I don't know. So I find it interesting. These two like came out both at obviously I think a very relevant time for their themes, but also um, just together because they're oddly connected.
Yeah. And I
Also,
did
like King
like,
just like wrote the same thing twice. Like one's walking, one's running.
there you go.
They're very different, but
Different,
like
different, pretty different, pretty different. But yeah, I did really like a lot of the supporting performances in the movie. Like Michael Cera was very good, and I think Jamie Lawson is her name that plays Glenn Powell's character's wife. She's like not in the movie that much, but she's she's good, and I like seeing her in movies. So that was cool. And I forget the guy's name who Daniel Ezra. He was also very good as another sort of, Glenn Powell is on the run, literally, obviously, and he comes across all sorts of different characters, and all these supporting characters are pretty interesting. So it's a little bit of a mess, but I still enjoyed it.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. All right.
Nice.
Oh, I guess it's my pick because I because you said The Running Man. Let's see. You know, I watched a movie called Father Stew. Do you
Oh,
know
is this
Father
with
Stew?
what's his
Marky
name?
Mark,
Mark Wahlberg. Wow.
Mark Wahlberg. Yep, got to stay prayed up. This this is a biopic basically of this guy who was a boxer who ended up basically becoming a priest and how this happens and all this stuff. And it was actually a really good movie. It was it did it's not like as sanitized as like people assume like faith-based movies are. Like anything with any type of religious or like Christian theme is like immediately like there can be no swearing, there can be no anything that could be considered bad or whatever. But the whole point of the movie is that this guy is so fucked up and then he like turns his life around. But even turning his life around is not as clean as it sounds like when you say turn your life around. It's like he's still a mess basically for the entire movie. And I found that actually endearing, and it made the movie a lot more interesting uh than it may seem on its surface, I guess, at least to me. Because it just makes it more real and more relatable to real life, because that's how real life is. Things are messy and fucked up, and people do make stupid decisions and stuff like that. So yeah, I actually really like this movie. It has a bad reputation. People like to shit on it, but I actually really liked it. It was a good movie. So shout out
Nice.
to
I'm glad
Father
you
Stu.
liked it.
Yeah,
I
it was a good movie.
I remember having seen like maybe like a trailer for it when it was going to come out or something, and then didn't really hear good things, and never really thought much about it after that. But glad to hear that that it's actually not it's not getting the credit it deserves. I well, not glad to hear that. Glad to hear you watched it and
Yeah,
uh
yeah.
enjoyed
So
it.
yes, I'm the Father Stu defender. Uh,
Careful. That's well, anyways.
what?
um, Nothing, I mean,
It's true.
um, uh, I'll jump in with Shane, have you ever heard of Smile Before Death?
No.
This is a 1972 gialli. That
Uh,
is yeah, it's part of this shout out to Egg Puddle on Letterbox, who has been doing a little giallo watch club with me. And this is a part of that. And this one I thought was a banger. This is like um the idea is you've got like a the beginning of the movie, like a mom dies. The mom dies to this girl. So she goes to move in with her stepfather and his like live-in photographer friend, but also
wink, wink.
wink, wink, like, definitely there was something going on. But so she's living with them and trying to kind of figure out like what happened to the mom. And like, meanwhile, there's like allusions to like inheritance, which is very common in like giallo movies, right? That maybe there's like some underlying, uh, that's like the motive, right? Maybe. And so kind of it feels kind of standard at the front, but there's a lot of really cool like metaphors and imagery and really good use of like mirrors for cool shots. And the like photographer friend is like always like often taking pictures, and so you get some like really cool shots of like just some really cool shots using the camera aesthetic and all that stuff. But then there's some pretty crazy stuff that goes down in the movie, and a wild twist that I think really like I was loving the movie, but then the twist happened, and I was like, oh dang, that is wild, and it makes me want to like go back and watch it right away and see all the things I missed and figure out if I could have even figured out the twist. It's one of those
Mm,
things, and I thought it was a banger. I think the
nice.
visuals, it's like prime, like vibrant colors and cool uh sexy shots at times and all sorts of like just really oh, and a banger soundtrack too. I mean, like it's like everything you
Mm.
want from a Giallo movie. And so if anyone out there likes Giallo movies and you haven't seen Smile Before Death, it's a strong recommendation for me. I think it was pretty awesome. Um, yeah,
There you go.
that's it for that one. I
Well,
absolutely awesome.
well, is there anything else you wanted to say before? All right. I will say I took the dive into the Venom trilogy. And I'll tell you what, Venom 3, there's a Venom frog. Venom frog is sick. It's only in like one shot for like half a second, but it was worth it. Uh Basically
Interesting.
the first one's the best one, but I kind of find them all watchable even when they're not very good.
Interesting. That makes for an excellent high box office movie. When
Yeah.
people just go to see it. I mean, you don't need to make the best movie. You just need to make something that you know people are going to go to, and they'll enjoy it enough that they'll tell people about it and all that stuff, right? Um,
I guess so, yeah.
I,
Yeah,
I
but
mean, these
it
movies
is
are
weird. It's weird to me
insane.
that Venom is even like on here. But it was also 2018. It was a different world, and that's around Avengers like Endgame and Infinity War.
Yeah, people
Around
were
that.
looking for like different stuff from Marvel, I think, and not even different stuff yet, but like,
Well, it was still peak. This was like peak superhero, I
yeah,
feel like. And then like COVID hits, and then it's like just downhill for the superhero genre, I feel like. Although
yeah,
the maybe the new Superman is a revival of the superhero genre a little bit, but I feel like overall it's kind of gone down. There's after Venom, Venom led to two other Venom movies that are not as good as the first one, and then Madam Web, Craven the Hunter, Morbius. So a lot of really great stuff came out of Venom. And yeah, a lot of really great films, great cinema. Um,
sorry, hold on.
up there, up
I
there
think
with,
I think I just fell
Kurosawa,
asleep or something.
Tarkovsky, Hitchcock, all the classics. You can tell, you can see the influence in Madam Web. Anyway,
So apparently Shane is not feeling well, and we're gonna have to postpone. No,
I have a case of opposite day here.
yeah. I mean, I think I feel pretty similar. Like these movies are pretty fine. They're fun. They're fine. Um, this is crazy though. The amount of money that these movies make is pretty
Yeah.
astonishing.
Do you have the numbers there?
I do. I have so Leo and Stitch. I have right in front of me. Leo and Stitch pulled in over $1 billion
Wow.
gross. And so I thought, well, this is Disney. This is like half animated,
Yeah.
half whatever. They're gonna
And
have
that's
spent
worldwide
that's
gross.
worldwide. Yep. And so I was thinking to myself, they have to have spent like $600 million or something crazy. This movie only had a budget of around $100 million. I mean, only, but like that's considering it pulls in
Oh
a
yeah.
billion dollars. That's insane.
Yeah.
Venom, I think I also have written down, pulled in $856 million against a similar budget of 100 to $150 million. So these like it's not even just I'm going to be honest, my assumption going into this and even watching them, I was like these are on this list because these companies can pay Sony and Disney can just pay a shit ton of money and make a movie and then it's like, well, yeah, you're going to like make back a good
Well,
amount, but
they probably that's just the production budget, so they
yeah.
probably spent that much or more again on marketing for these movies, but still they made hundreds of millions of dollars probably on these movies. So
Yeah. And
huge financial successes at the very least.
huge. Um and I remember when we were looking at this list, again, the not adjusted for inflation one, it's astonishing how many like sequels and reboots and I like many of the Disney live action things are on there. And it's I mean, these are just people will go to the theaters to see a recognizable name, and the family will go if it's PG-13 or PG, right? So like
Oh yeah.
these
Yeah,
are
they work. That's why they keep making them. Then they're not stopped. I think it's kind of good that we picked these two movies because we have an example of a comic book movie, which has been the most successful genre for the past like 15 years, and these Disney live action remakes, which have been another one of the most popular sort of little subgenres in the last like 10 years. So it's kind of a good example of like what is working in like Hollywood just broadly. I guess it's just mainly with Disney for the live action remakes, but yeah, like these are big popular trends that we're covering is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, definitely. And even though like I forget how much I cut out of the last one, but I know we talked a lot about picking Avatar and its
Mhm.
sequel, partly in preparation because there's the new one coming out, but also they're number one and number three on the
Yeah.
list. Do you remember what's in the middle of those? Kind of odd.
I think
I
it
forget.
might be Avengers Endgame
That makes
or
sense.
Infinity War, maybe, but I can
Yeah.
check.
I was just curious. But we talked about that, and I'm actually glad we also didn't go with that. Not
It
just
might
be
it might
oh
be The
yeah.
Force Awakens also.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
It's one of those.
Um, but I'm glad we didn't go with that, not just because that's a lot of Avatar to watch, but
Yeah.
also because it really doesn't represent the the norm of what you're seeing on this list. You know, same with like I almost picked High Mom, and again, it doesn't
Chinese
represent.
movie.
Yeah, right. Doesn't really represent the norm of what we're seeing here. But these huge budget, I mean, $100 million is not a tiny budget, right? So like these are huge budget movies. They're making a ton of money. Um, and they are definitely representative of these genres that are just making a ton of money right now, right? And
Yeah.
yeah,
The top five, according to the Letterboxd list, is Avatar's number one, then Avengers Endgame is number two, Avatar 2 is number three, Titanic is number four, which is incredible that it's
wow.
like Titanic was such a gigantic hit. Like, also pretty incredible. James Cameron directed three of the top four.
Yeah, that's crazy. This
Like,
guy.
yeah. And then Star Wars The Force Awakens is number five, and Avengers Infinity War is number six.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow. And yeah, I would bet that we don't have to look right now, but I would bet that probably those Avengers movies are some of the later ones in terms of the superhero movies, right? I mean, maybe Guardians 3 I think was after them, but like Eternals and any of this like phase Quantum Mania or whatever, like all this phase 4 stuff that's been happening, that stuff's not, I don't think it's pulling in anywhere near the amount of money that these were, you know.
Yeah, that was like a crazy peak that I
Yeah.
mean, Spider-Man No Way Home is number eight.
Oh yeah, the Spider-Man.
So
Yeah.
that's a big one. And then there's Black Panther, there's Deadpool and Wolverine
Yeah,
is on
Black
there.
Panther was definitely before, but
Yes.
Deadpool and Wolverine, yeah, that's new.
But yeah,
Wow.
those are still kind of, exceptions. Funny enough, Aquaman 1 is number 31.
That's insane. That
Yeah.
movie is such dog water.
I think
That
it was more ocean water, but that was my opinion.
Boo.
I saw a lot more ocean water there than dog water.
That movie was so bad. That was yeah. All right. Well, anyway, so that I mean, I think there's a lot
That
of
movie,
interesting
yeah.
stuff going on in that list though. It's kind of an insane. I remember looking at it. It took us so long to pick these movies
Yeah.
because of just how insane that list actually is.
Yeah, yep, it's true. But I guess we should just get into it.
Yeah.
The name of the episode is Lilo and Stenham. So that means we're starting with Lilo and Stitch. Ryan, this was your pick. This is, I mean, we don't even really have to talk about a summary because this is almost directly just a remake of the original animated movie, with just a couple changes.
Yeah. Yeah. And even the original director, writer, and voice of Stitch is back.
Yep.
Chris Sanders is back as the voice of Stitch. And Chris Sanders was like this must have been when he was making the Wild Robot, right? So
Yeah, he directed The Wild Robot. Just, I guess that was 2024, right?
yeah, so he probably was recording lines, I guess, or something at the same time, or maybe that came out. Maybe that was like done already, but it feels like
Yeah, I
there
don't
was like
know.
a quick overlap. But I guess he didn't. I don't know
You
how
don't
much
have
do
to
you have to
record
do
that.
to.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
probably was only in the studio for a day or two to do all the
yeah,
Stitch lines.
that's true.
He doesn't say a lot. It's a lot of, there might be some noises, some sound effects, but yeah.
Yeah. Some of it, I mean, it's also interesting because I wonder how different some of the Stitch lines actually are. Like, I'm glad they didn't just reuse Stitch lines, but
Well,
They
that'd be
probably
crazy.
could have. They probably could have though. I mean, like, uh, I
That'd
don't
be lazy to another level.
know. Yeah, these companies are never lazy. I'll tell you what. Um, but this one is directed by Dean Fletcher Camp, the Fletcher. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but from
I don't know.
notorious, not notorious, but
Marcel the Shell.
famously the maker of Marcel with the Shell.
Great movie. Marcel, yeah, Marcel the Shell with shoes on. Great
Oh,
movie.
I messed up the with there. Nice.
That's okay. Yeah.
One of those funny long names for a movie, but
Marcel the Shell with shoes on. I mean, it describes him very well. He has a
there you
shell with
go.
shoes on. His name is Marcel. But yeah, that is a great movie. Better than Lilo and Stitch. But they do this often where they'll, with a lot of these Disney just does this. They'll find a director who's directed like one or two indie movies that were good and well respected and stuff, and then they just throw a bunch of money at them and they're like, well, I guess I'll direct some of this Disney I can call it slop. I think I can call it slop. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
So they did that with the guy who directed Minari. He ended up directing like uh I think maybe like Shang-Chi and then like Twisters or something like that.
Oh wow.
Uh yeah, Lee Isaac Chung, he directed well he did Twisters. Wait, he didn't do Shang-Chi. Who did Shang-Chi? Let's see. I'll look this up live. This is not good podcasting because I'll
Nah,
get
it's
to.
fine.
Oh,
But
Destin Daniel Cretton, the guy who did Short Term 12.
oh
He
wow.
directed Shang-Chi. But anyway, they get a lot of indie directors and then they hire them. And I assume they don't give them a lot of leeway of final cut or anything like that. And but they give them money and filmmakers, you need money to survive. It makes sense. So I don't blame anyone for taking the jobs. But yeah,
Also, being credited as the director of one of the highest grossing movies of all time is probably pretty cool.
yeah.
I mean, again, like we were talking about,
And I'm sure
um,
this was fun to make. This doesn't
yeah,
feel totally soulless to me.
no, I think that was surprising to me because I kind of expected it to feel that way.
Mm.
I mean, it's a remake. It's like the live action computer generated hybrid stuff, and I was like, oh man, I didn't think I was gonna like it, and I didn't love it. I did not love it, but I did like a lot of it, and
Mm.
that was cool. I think he looks surprisingly good.
Yeah, the effects are really good.
Yeah, I think well animated. Some really cool stuff going on with Lilo's like or rather Stitch's whoops with Stitch's like dog persona. I thought in the early part of the movie, I really
Very
liked
funny.
every time he was pretending to be a dog. I kind of the parts where he's like being more humanoid and stuff, like using the opposable thumbs and talking and stuff. I was less into at least in the first half of the movie because
Nah.
everyone's like, dude, he's a dog, and then he's like, oh, I'm a dog. He's like, oh, I'm a dog. Yeah, I'm a dog. Like, oh, don't mind me like spraying this thing, this
Yeah.
soda thing. And it's like, I, yeah, I don't know. I know that obviously nobody would actually believe that, and that's fine. But
Why should people believe that he's a dog? That was a sticking point for you.
yeah, and then I mean, in the second half, I like the second half of the movie actually quite a bit more because
Oh.
at that point, it seemed like everyone gave up on thinking he was a dog. Everyone was just like, yeah, like the main characters, the main crew, and everyone was like now working together, and he was like a big part of it. Like there was none of that crap of him trying to pretend to be a dog anymore. And while I was kind of conflicted because I liked some of that stuff, particularly like him sticking his head out the window of the car and like being more dog like.
Yeah.
I didn't like all of it. And so when they switched over and it felt like nobody cared that he wasn't a dog anymore, I was much more into the movie probably.
I get that. I will say if you saw Stitch, what would you think he was?
I think he was a fucking alien.
But without the antennas and the extra arms in dog form, what
If
is
he's
he?
grabbing onto, if he's holding this like soda dispenser thing like a human would, I would not think he's a dog. Dogs don't have
But
opposable thumbs.
but what is he?
Some weird
You
mutated
would not
ape
think he's an
or
alien.
something.
If you saw a blue animal that was holding something, you wouldn't think it was an alien
I
at
probably
first. You
wouldn't think
just
it was
think
an
it was a
alien.
you think it was a blue animal.
Yeah, but not a dog. That thing's using its thumbs. That's got to be some sort of primate.
Well, maybe people think it's some kind of a primate.
They
He's
say
got big
dog.
ears.
Everyone says dog.
They do say like that's a weird dog, but also they're like they don't know what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. I understand I shouldn't have been that annoyed by it because
It
it's a
is.
movie. Who cares? It's like it it's based on the cartoon, the 2002 like anime movie, and it's also for not for kids necessarily, but it is like a kids
Well,
movie.
yeah, it's a family
Yeah.
movie for sure.
And
Yeah,
so who
it's
cares? But
and yeah, you can't make him look too realistically like a dog because then it takes away the charm of him looking like Stitch.
yeah.
But yeah, I see your point. I did have the same thought of like he doesn't. It's not convincing, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like yeah, I don't know.
You just
Anyway,
gave it a pass. You were like, I don't know, it's enjoyable.
I liked it. He's
Yeah.
charming. He makes funny noises. He makes funny faces. He has funny reactions. He causes mayhem. He causes mischief. He's great. I enjoyed it. And that was the best parts of the movie. My least favorite parts of the movie was toward the end when they kept faking us out that this person's going to
Oh
die
yeah.
and this is going to. And also I mean, we are in full
Yeah,
spoiler
there's nothing
alert
to
for
not
everyone.
spoil about this movie. This movie is essentially 23
Right.
years old. So we're
There,
spoiling it.
well, but there's a big change in the middle where the sister is actually gonna uh give her to the state.
Yeah.
What the fuck was that?
Yeah, I mean it's like totally nonsense. It's like
So stupid. What she doesn't even like sh literally the neighbor says like, "Oh, you should go to college. Like you that would be great or whatever." And then she doesn't think to like talk to the neighbor about it at all before doing that or like go moving toward college with the sister or something
yeah.
like there's no other planning just like oh I guess I just have to give her to the state. I don't fucking know. Like
Yeah, it felt very out of character. I mean, I think anyone that watched, I think this was a lot of the criticism about this movie when it came out was this, right? I
yeah.
mean, I think this is, I think, one of the better received live action hybrid movies from Disney. But I remember when it came out, that was like one of the things that people were like kind of talking about was the change in character here because
Yeah.
I mean, people like these characters, right? They wanted to see these characters, and it didn't feel like
Yeah.
a thing this character would do.
They also make a big change to Jumba because they eliminate
Yeah,
Gantu, I believe is the name of in the original there's Jumba and Pleakley are the two aliens who are like trying to hunt down uh Stitch, and Jumba is the creator of Stitch. And then they like can't get him, so they send another alien who becomes basically the bad guy, Gantu. But in the new one, there's no Gantu. It's just that Jumba becomes the Gantu figure he becomes the villain and Pleakley is the nice guy of the two of them, basically.
yeah.
So I think that also really bothered people, the change in Jumba. I didn't really mind it that much, but
I
I
don't,
get it. If people are very precious about the original, but yeah.
I don't know if I really cared that much about the change, but I did not really like the characters. That those two, I liked,
Oh,
uh, I liked them enough, I guess. But like, I was surprised I didn't really find them very funny for the most part.
oh, I kind of
So
liked them.
yeah,
I liked most of like more of the character shenanigans stuff in the first half of the movie, mainly with Stitch, Lilo a little bit, and Pleakley and Jumba, and like just the comedy I was enjoying. But then like in the second half when it's getting to like the drama and the action, like well, I don't know, like I don't know. It just was very predictable. I'm like, yeah,
yeah,
Stitch is not fucking drowning at the bottom of the ocean. This is not how they're ending the movie. Or like Stitch is not gonna not come back to life. And there was another thing too where it's like this is so obviously not gonna happen. Like it's such an obvious like
yeah,
fake out. So they're trying to have it both ways. They're like, we're gonna try to make you cry, and we're also gonna give you the happy ending.
yeah,
And it's just so obvious that I was not able to. I was just kind of rolling my eyes through those moments. But for most of the movie, I did really enjoy it. And I like Stitch. So I'm not saying this is a great movie. It's mainly just okay. But I think like for an inherently kind of uninspired genre where you're just remaking a popular movie mainly because Disney wants to make more money off of it and hold these copyrights forever. Uh, they they made like an actually like pretty good movie out of the circumstances, I thought. The movie looked pretty good, the special effects were good. And
Yeah.
yeah, like I said, I got a soft spot for Stitch. He acts like a crazy maniac and I like it.
Yeah. And one thing they did to help with the whole like animation and all that, like everything just looking more normal and real, was they used like a stand-in for Stitch during scenes, right? Which
Mm.
um definitely works because I feel like there wasn't really too many moments where I was like, I don't even know if there was any moment where I was like, wow, it really feels like this character is just like solo acting right now. Like it
Yeah.
always felt like they had a counterpart, which is good.
That is a good point. A lot of the actors give really convincing performances when Stitch is not actually there. Especially the kid who plays Lilo is Maya Kealoha, I believe is how you say her name. And I thought her performance was very good as this kid. And like when she's interacting with Stitch, it's like completely seamless. It doesn't seem like she's I don't know, it's just completely believable. So
Yeah.
that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I agree. I thought the performances were really good. Um I I also thought that the the beach scene, do you know what I'm talking about?
The
There's
beach scene, well, there's one at the end and there's one toward the beginning.
the beginning one.
Yeah, the
Um
the fun montage at the
yes,
beach. Yes.
that was awesome. I probably my favorite part of the whole movie, maybe because
Yeah, I think I agree.
yeah, and they have the classic one of the classic songs in there. I kind of forget the name of it, but and it was just a whole lot of fun and like
Yeah, he's like digging under the sand. He's destroying the sand castles. Yeah, it's
yeah.
very fun.
And I was like, and part of that, like, it just felt more fun than when he's like destroying crap. And I mean, like, he was destroying sandcastles and digging under stuff, but like when he's like destroying everything at the restaurant, right? And like, where the sister works, and it's like, dude, that you suck, dude. Like,
Well, yeah.
I know he doesn't know he's doing all that stuff, and he's like just causing a ruckus, but like when he's doing it on the beach, I'm having a lot more fun with it, than when he's doing it and like maybe making the sister lose her job and crap.
Well,
Like,
she does. Yeah,
oh, I forgot.
he causes her to lose her job. Yeah, and like him and the kid basically cause her to not get a bunch of other jobs because
Yeah,
like they come
right.
along and like cause mayhem and mischief while during the job interview. So
Yeah,
yeah, I think that's like just intentionally part of the conflict. Um,
yeah,
but yeah, I get that. It's not as endearing to Stitch, but that's
right.
kind of part of this character. He's like an experiment, and he's inherently causes mayhem. But
But the beach
he's got a
scene
heart.
was so fun. So I didn't like it wasn't it was a total for me, that scene was like a very fun moment of the bonding and the mayhem and all that. Whereas not that I thought the other parts weren't necessarily like fun, but I was like, yeah, cool. That sucks for her though, like but this scene
Yeah.
was like nothing sucked. Like it was like everyone's happy.
Yes, I see what you're saying. It's the most pleasant, conflict-free scene in
Yeah.
the movie.
Yep.
But yeah, I will say the original, it works a lot better like emotionally. Like the original is kind of like a sad movie. And this one I feel like anytime it was trying to be emotional, it did not work at all for me. But I found it funny. And I don't know if I found it funnier than the original because I haven't seen the original in a couple years. Uh, but I it might be. I don't know. It works better as comedy than it does as like
Emotion.
drama. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the original is a lot more emotionally affecting, I think.
Yeah. It's funny, I really there was definitely moments where I laughed, but I would say overall, I found it probably less funny than I was hoping because Stitch is so cute and I was really hoping to find more stuff funny in it, but I don't know, something about it just didn't the aliens didn't hit for me. Stitch hit on and off for me, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I didn't I was disappointed by not finding it as funny. So I'm glad at least you found it funny
I
because
get that.
I think you're right. Like the drama side is definitely not really working either for isn't working generally, I would say. So
Yeah. Yeah. And I maybe I'm just a normie And this is like things that these corporations know. If you put a cute little guy with big eyeballs in a movie, people are gonna like him. And that's exactly. So, and I just enjoy Stitch. I find him endearing, and I just like the guy. So it just makes the movie a little bit better. If it didn't have Stitch, there'd be no reason to watch this.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. I agree. I think the throwing Stitch around, they will sell stuffed animal
Oh
Stitches.
yeah.
They will sell keychain. Well, I don't know, not keychains. Who buys keychains? They'll sell all
Ah,
sorts of crap with Stitch on them, though. Like,
oh yeah.
and so just making him again, it's like they get a they and there's all this stuff with all these new live action stuff they're doing, and just anytime they're redoing something, it's like, yeah, it's like almost a just renewing interest in their other things, right? Like this movie didn't only make money for them because of the movie. People were buying Stitch merchandise, right? Like all that stuff again, right? Same with like what's the there was another recent one that like just got a new section in one of the theme parks, and I forget what it was. But
I don't know.
yeah, but and the movie, it's like the movie actually didn't do great, I think, for this one. I forget what it is, but it's like, yeah, but everyone's talking about it again. They like put in this whole thing in the parks. Like the movie the movie actually doesn't need to make money itself. Just by having the name alone and Disney being able to put so much more money into the merchandising and um all the other auxiliary stuff, these monies will make them move. Nope, these movies will make them money, pretty much no matter
Freudian slip.
what. but
Yeah.
but this movie, I'm glad that this movie like does pretty much stand on its own as well, because
Hmm.
like, I mean, some of my complaints here, I think like if I was watching this when I like first watched the original instead of the original, I would have loved it probably. I mean, I love the
Hmm.
original. It's been a while since I've seen it, but and this I think holds a lot of that charm, and it holds a lot of the I don't know. I think the people that like the original, other than the character changes that you might feel like are big, you probably like it, right? I mean, it's like Stitch again. You got a lot of fun stuff going on. I don't know.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. I
Yeah,
liked when he at the beginning when he goes through that cake and he's eating cake. That was funny. And
yeah.
there's when
Except,
when
could you
he
imagine you're getting married and oh man,
yeah.
dude, I like now I'm thinking as an adult, and I'm just like,
You know what? Life's too short. Who cares? If an alien went through my wedding cake, I wouldn't complain. It's an alien.
but it's not. Nobody thinks it's an alien. You said
If a dog came in and if a random dog, if honestly, that'd be awesome.
no, it would not. If a
Yes, it
dog
would.
runs into your wedding,
Yes, it would.
crashes the wedding, and
Yes.
eats your cake,
Yes, that'd be funny.
that's insane. You're
That'd
an
be
insane
great.
person. You're an
No, that
insane.
would be great. Everyone would remember that forever. It'd be a nice, memorable moment. And then the dog could join the wedding.
That's crazy.
Sometimes you need these moments in life. Chaos just comes in, boom, knocks over your cake and says, "Fuck your plans." And there you go. Sometimes you need that.
I'm all for a little bit of spontaneity, but ruining your wedding would be a little rough, I think.
But it didn't ruin the wedding. That's the thing. You need to change your outlook. It only ruins the wedding if you think it ruins the wedding. I think it enhanced the wedding.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough, Shane. Um,
I'll do anything I'll defend Stitch to the death. I should be his
yeah.
lawyer. I'll be like, he gave them a unique experience for free, complimentary.
Oh man, yeah. Shane's gonna actually make this movie more money somehow, right?
Yeah.
Um,
And it's funny. I only gave this movie 3 stars. It's not like I think it's some great movie, but I just mainly found it endearing and enjoyable. And yeah, I wasn't necessarily bothered by him causing the chaos because maybe I was just kind of like, well, yeah, it's just a silly movie, so I didn't really think about that. I mean, the movie does want you to think about how there are consequences because it causes problems for the sister. But that's like part of the story of his character growth, basically.
yeah. Which is funny though, because then also like when Stitch is like calmed down and not destroying crap again, the aliens destroy their whole house. So like
Hmm.
the consequence isn't even necessarily of like Stitch being crazy. It's just of like I don't know. It just like random crap will happen to you. Yeah, that's like essentially like that sucks.
Yeah,
Your house is gone. And it actually
yeah,
wasn't
that's
Stitch's fault.
life.
Like, yeah.
That's
Um,
life. You gotta
So
stick
you're
together.
onto something. You know, the
Family.
house is only gone if you think it's gone. You know.
Now, I don't know if you can twist the house destruction into. I don't know if you can change your perspective that much on it,
If Stitch did
but
it, you'd be all for
it depends. Maybe he just redesigns that house. I'm not
it.
sure. But this is the
um,
thing that wedding, people are too precious about weddings. They're too precious.
yeah,
Oh, what are we doing? It's a big party.
you
What
only
if
do it like four times in your life, probably. You
hopefully one time in your life,
know.
hopefully. But if it makes it unique, it's just a cake.
Yeah. No, I mean I do actually see what you're saying, but like there was a part of me in this movie that I wasn't able to like turn off that like I don't know what it was. Maybe it was just my mindset where I wasn't
Mm,
able like watching it that moment where I wasn't able to turn off that like adult anxiety now where I'm like
mm.
damn that sucks for these people or like losing the job and like losing all those interviews. It's like damn.
Oh yeah, that does suck.
Yeah.
That part sucks, no doubt. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. But on a
I get
totally
that.
different note.
This is like have you ever heard of people joking about this? Like, oh man, back in 2008, I was playing Guitar Hero in the basement, and my dad was trying to like help us survive through the recession. And like you're a kid, so you have no idea what's going on, and that's like
Yeah.
that's literally me. 2008, I was 11 years old. I'm like, I'm fucking ripping this Guitar Hero, like playing Call of Duty, like just living
Yeah.
my best life, you know? And then, but I don't know. That's us having that adult perspective on this thing, I guess. So you see all the problems that as a kid you don't see. Like when a kid's just like causing a complete mess and there's shit all over the place, there's toys all over the place. And then you're a parent, you're like, they gotta someone has to pick this up. This is so crazy. But then the kid's just having a great time.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
maybe you just need maybe as a parent you need to adjust your perspective a little bit and be like, you know what? They're having a good time. It's going to cause a complete fucking mess, but you only live once, and sometimes your cake needs to get smashed by an alien.
Yeah. I do see what you're saying, and I think that's a good perspective to have at times. Um I also still think I would now, you know what? I'm gonna say it. I would still be upset if that happened at my wedding, but
All right. I'll cancel the Stitch.
well
I was gonna have I was gonna have a Stitch impersonator come in and cry and
a
destroy the
Stitch
wedding.
impersonator.
Yeah, yeah. Stitch
uh,
impersonator is gonna come in and destroy the wedding, but
well, yeah,
I'll have
you
to
can
cancel it. Hopefully, it's refundable.
yeah. Uh anyways, there's another cool thing that I wanted to bring up about this movie that made me after I finished watching the movie, I was looking in, I was reading on the Wikipedia and all this stuff and the IMDb trivia and all this stuff, right? Whatever. And this made me feel a little bit later about the movie, which is apparently Disney, this mega corporation that essentially just gobbles up a ton of energy and shoots off like fireworks into the ocean and like absolute like I know before anyone corrects me, I know that those fireworks are actually biodegradable. That's like why they're allowed to do it over the ocean. But still, it's like this company that I'm not the biggest fan of companies, that have this much money, right? I mean, I just told you guys to watch The Running Man, like the Running Man would be totally against everything
Yeah,
Disney
Disney
stands
might
for.
as well be the network in the Running Man.
Yeah.
Like they're the most powerful media company
Yeah.
in the world in America. I don't know.
But I will say, apparently, they actually also by hold on. So speaking of them being like we talked about like Avatar 2, all the Marvel movies, right? All this crap. Disney owns all this stuff. It's insane.
Does
Like,
Disney own the Avatar movies?
yeah, they have a whole
Oh,
Pandora section in their parks too.
wow.
Um, and so it's like, oh man, like you look at that list of highest grossing movies, most money that movies have ever made, right? And it's like almost all that money just goes to Disney. It's insane.
Yeah, interesting because I think Disney bought 20th Century Fox, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh my god, insane. But what I was gonna say, this is actually a positive thing about Disney. Um, so I had to rant a little bit because Disney, but apparently they worked with four Hawaii-based sustainability organizations during the production of the movie to reuse and repurpose over 80% of the waste created on set, including turning 18,000 pounds of uneaten food and compostable packaging into repurposed nutrient rich soil and rehousing props, lumber, and various other things from the sets and all that stuff to local schools, theaters, and things like that on the islands. So
Oh,
actually, really cool. Like
yeah,
movies make a lot of waste, right? And the
yeah.
production of movies, obviously, and so I have to give it to them here. This is kind of neat. I like to see that they put in that effort, especially doing it. The Hawaii Islands have a large there's a big issue there of sustainability at times, right? When people just go to the islands and just do crap that's not sustainable and then leave, right? It's like, yeah, but like a that's a place, right? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
So I'm kind of impressed, and I kind of uh, definitely like I like Disney a little bit more after reading that.
Yeah,
So ignore my
that's cool.
rant that I said about Disney and all that stuff. Disney's actually great. Everyone's to come to the network.
Gotcha. Yeah, but that's good. I'm glad they did that. Good. Uh, yeah. Also, I think it was cool that the Lilo and Nani, the actresses that played them are Hawaiian. So that was good
Yes.
that they did that. Obviously,
Yeah.
it's 2025. I'd be surprised if they didn't do that, but I think there's a movie where Emma Stone plays a Hawaiian person. So I think,
That's insane.
that was like 10 years ago. So
Yeah.
times have
Um,
times have changed. But yeah, that's good. So yeah, there are good things about the movie. I guess that's kind of like outside of the text of the movie, but it's just
yeah.
facts of the production that are positive. And yeah, like I said earlier, I gave this 3 stars. I thought it was enjoyable. I liked it. Nothing groundbreaking, nothing, but an enjoyable family film that is carried by Stitch.
It is
Carried
definitely carried by Stitch.
carried on those spikes that come out of his back.
Only for a while. I wish we got a little bit more of the spikes.
Well, actually, they're making Lilo and Stitch 2. It's in development now. Obviously, it made so much money. Obviously, they're going to make a second one. So maybe we will see more spikes.
Um, yeah, maybe.
I'd watch it.
I will probably watch it honestly. I did not. Obviously, I think that's pretty obvious at this point. If anyone's been having their ears on this whole time, I did not like this maybe as much as Shane, but I still ended up giving it 2.5 stars. It's fun. It's enjoyable. You'll I don't know. There's nothing wrong with it. I understand that like I'm also not maybe we are not like the target audience necessarily, but I do think it's family fun, right? Like if I had kids, if I was watching this like with kids or something, I'd probably have more fun, right?
Hmm.
But I don't know. Might have also just been my mindset that day, right? Adult anxiety is wrecking my fucking brain while I'm sitting there trying to watch Stitch destroy crap, and I'm like, no, no, what are you doing?
Don't destroy those sandcastles. No, put your toys away.
So I gave it. I did give it 2.5 stars. I was between 2.5 and 3 stars, but yeah, I mean, again, like I think some of the humor didn't really hit for me as much as hoping it would and stuff too. But
That's fair. Yeah.
um,
But yeah,
and the
my
rating
main
recap
list.
here.
Oh yeah, reader recap.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
I was just gonna say my main endings. I think I said this earlier, but the fake outs at the end, the fake emotional stuff when you know exactly what's going to be happening. That was the worst part that brought it down a little bit for me. So it wasn't the
Yeah.
most satisfying like that the climax of the movie, but yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I looked over at my fiance I was watching this with, and I said, when Stitch is like not able to breathe, and they just like literally hooked the car up to him, and it still didn't work. And I looked over and I was like, oh, I wonder what's gonna happen. And then
Yeah.
she goes, I think he's gonna be dead. And then I was like, and then we were both obviously joking, like
Oh
we,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, it was very obvious, right? Um, and yeah, spoiler: Stitch did not die.
Thank goodness. How could
Thank
they make
goodness.
Lilo and Stitch 2?
Also, that would be insane. That would be
That would be
that would be that would
that
be
would be
absolutely crazy
that would be
if
psycho.
Disney kills off Stitch in the first movie.
Yeah.
That
I
would
also
be
wouldn't
insane.
wouldn't be against any kind of Stitch spin-offs. Like, because eventually they're gonna make the Lilo and Stitch 2. They'll probably make a third one, but eventually the kid will grow up because time passes,
Yeah,
and there will need to be something else done. And Stitch is animated and can always be Stitch, so they could do Stitch spin-offs, almost the way they had Despicable Me, and then they have Minions.
true. Well,
Yeah.
even also those are all animated though. So well, whatever.
Well, yeah, just the idea of a
Yeah,
spin-off with just the cute little guys.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, also, I mean, thinking about Leo and Stitch and Leo and Stitch 2, right? And then there was a TV show for a long time also, right? So
Yes.
there's a lot of content here for them. You know, you could totally bring in like the Lady Stitch, the other experiments, right? Like there's a lot of stuff that you can
Yeah.
do. A lot of stuff already built up in the world that you can kind of rinse and repeat, bring renewed interest to and stuff like that too.
Yeah. But all right,
Um,
what's the rating recap?
Rating recap: we've got 3.0 out of 5 on Letterboxd, 6.7 out of 10 on IMDb, 72% critic score, and 92% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes.
There you go.
92% audience score. So people do like it. Which brings it to an average of 7.275 out of 10, roughly 7.3 out of 10 on our metric system here. So a pretty respectable,
Oh yeah.
I think the 92% definitely bumps it up a little, like helps the average. But
Oh yeah. Well, that's the
yeah,
thing. The movie is likable, and like that's how I kind of felt about it too. Like the thing with Rotten Tomatoes is it's basically just like thumbs up or thumbs down. So
right.
people are just like, well, it was enjoyable. It was cute. It wasn't the greatest movie ever, but I liked it. So it's get, that's why it gets these higher ratings on Rotten Tomatoes, I guess. But, and I think that is a little bit of a secret sauce of how to make these super popular movies. Can't be, it's got to be as appealing to the widest audience possible, which kind of flattens things out and makes them not as, they're not going to hit as deep or as like, because they're not as specific.
Yeah.
So anyway, just doesn't have the same like, I don't know. I'd be surprised if people were not kids would be like Lilo and Stitch is my favorite movie of the year. Like,
Yeah, right. I mean, I think there's probably people out there, right? But also,
yeah, it could be
yeah, it's
super
definitely
fans.
not right. Yeah. Um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that's, you're making a movie for everyone. You're not making a movie for movie lovers or for, whatever. You're making a movie literally for everyone. And you know what? People go to the theaters with everyone to go see it, right?
Yeah,
You're gonna bring your kids, or you're gonna bring your girlfriend, or you're gonna bring your boyfriend, or whatever, right? Um and that's what makes money, right? I mean, if you're making, weapons, you might make a lot of money, but also not everyone's going to go see a horror movie, right?
hmm.
That's just how it is. Uh,
Yep. Speaking of, somehow a lot of people went to see Venom.
a
Venom
kind of
kind of
horror movie,
it's got some horror elements for a comic book movie. It might be
definitely.
the closest thing to a horror movie that's on this top 100 list.
That's probably true. Yeah, yeah.
It's definitely not a horror movie, but that, you know, that there's no horror that's going to make this much money. But but yeah, Venom. This was my pick. 2018, directed by Ruben Flesher. Oh wait, Dean Flesher Camp and Ruben Flesher.
Whoa,
Just put that together.
that's odd.
Kind of crazy, right? Uh, so yeah, basically Venom. It's this Tom Hardy plays Eddie Brock, who's an investigative journalist. His girlfriend Anne is played by Michelle Williams, and she's a lawyer. Riz Ahmed plays Carlton Drake, who's a like billionaire science evil guy. Um, and yeah, he's Eddie Brock becomes Venom, and then cool Venom things happen. And that's the basic summary, I guess. Uh, I enjoyed the movie. It starts off a little rough. It takes a while to get going. Like you don't actually get to the Venom stuff until maybe 45 minutes in or 40 minutes in, he becomes Venom. I don't know, around there. Uh, and I will say this movie, it's listed as 1 hour and 52 minutes, but the credits roll at 1 hour and 32 minutes. So it's really only like an hour and a half long. but there's credits and then there's a mid-credit scene, then there's more the full credits, and then there's a post-credit scene. And the post-credit scene is a basically just like a 5 minute scene from Into the Spider-Verse that's just like there for no reason, completely unrelated to Venom, just to advertise for Into the Spider-Verse. So that was kind of a stupid way to end the movie. But yeah, that so it's really only like a 90-minute movie. And
That's
I'll say
hilarious.
once it, huh?
That's hilarious. Letterbox should have an option to like not. I know this is like impossible, but not include the credit times for the runtime.
Yeah, that'd be cool if they could like they could get
Yeah,
that in there. But yeah, so uh it's I enjoyed it. Once he becomes Venom, it was really enjoyable. That chase scene in the middle was really
yeah,
great. He's flying around on the motorcycle, he's going around corners, Venom is saving him this way and that way. Very cool scene. Uh and like I don't know, I thought it was just mainly a pretty enjoyable movie, even though it was pretty silly and took a while to get going. But that's my general thoughts about it. But it's funny, both these movies are just kind of like, I was like, not the greatest movie I've ever seen for sure, but generally an enjoyable like 90 minutes at the movies.
yeah. I think again, that's kind of maybe what we're getting from these. Yeah, I think that's what you get pretty much on this stuff. I mean, not. I think like Titanic is an odd standout here, where like right up at the top of the list and has like pretty much stayed there. Like if you look at the adjusted for inflation list, it might be number one. I don't know.
It's well, I think Gone with the Wind is number one
Oh
adjusted,
yeah,
but Titanic's way up there.
yeah, um, yeah. No, you're totally right about Gone with the Wind though. But and when you look at like the list, it's like because it's all these movies that are made right now, and like there's very few things from before the year 2000, and a lot of it just yeah, it's just stuff that's like yeah, you're gonna bring the whole family, everyone's gonna be like yeah, that was good. We'll tell people about it. Everyone's gonna talk about it, but it's not gonna change your life, you know. But yeah, I also did enjoy this one. I thought for the most part it was pretty fun. Better than I'd seen this before, and I think this I enjoyed it more maybe this time around. Um, yeah, I would say I
So
don't love. Yeah, go ahead.
you saw this in theaters.
I saw this in theaters. Yeah, back when it came out,
Yeah,
2019.
there you go.
Um,
I did not. This was my first time seeing it. This was my first
yeah,
time being venomized.
yeah, I saw this in theaters, and I didn't love it, but I'm pretty big into comic books, and even more so in 2018, right? Um, uh, and this is based on kind of a comic series. I think it's called like Planet of the Symbiotes. From I forget when. It might be from like the 90s, maybe. And I had that series. It's like an awesome series and stuff. So, and I have actually, I own like encased it, like rated the first appearance of Black Suit Spider-Man. So the first appearance of Venom symbiote in
Oh,
comics, signed by the person that created Venom or the Black Suit Spider-Man. Um, and like
wow.
I'm actually pretty. I would say I'm a pretty big into
Pretty big
comics
Venom fan.
person, pretty big comic Venom fan.
Oh yeah, you're a
Um,
big Spider-Man
yeah,
fan. So
but Venom's a cool side shoot of Spider-Man, right?
yeah.
And this is an interesting take where you don't put Spider-Man in at all, right? I mean, there's not even the Spider-Man symbol on his chest, right?
Mm.
Because why would you? He doesn't. Venom doesn't interact with Spider-Man, so you don't need that. But yeah, and so it is interesting that I don't know what was it that first time. I mean, I think honestly, I don't love some of the humor. Some of the effects are a little but I enjoyed it a lot more this time around. I don't know. I think that first time I was just like not really vibing with it, maybe. But that chase scene really wowed me this time around. Um, and also just like the very San Francisco aesthetic of it, where it's
Yeah.
like the hills and yeah,
Yeah. San Francisco is the best place for a car chase.
yeah,
Like, What's Up, Doc,
yeah,
Bullet, like, not that this car chase is as good as either of those, but uh it's just iconic. All the hills, very cool.
yeah. And so I mean, a lot of that stuff really pulled me in this time around. I still don't love some of the humor, but some of the stuff, I mean, like, dude, the the whole like fight scene when he first has the symbiote in the apartment felt kind of
Yeah.
cool. Like I was like, yeah, I don't hate this. This is cool. This is
Yeah,
fun.
it was a very cool scene, and I liked how like Eddie has no idea what's going on. He's just along for the ride.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed that too. That was cool.
Yeah. I wonder,
The
I mean, I think that maybe in 2018, part of me like wasn't ready for Venom without Spider-Man. Like I, to me as a comic book fan, I love comic books that are only about Venom. Like I said, the Planet of the Symbiotes and stuff. Um and like Lethal Protector and Agent Venom are all like big comic book stuff that has nothing to do with Spider-Man.
hmm.
Um but but maybe at the time I was like so hyped into Spider-Man still, and like I needed I didn't want a movie that didn't have him, I don't
Interesting.
know.
Yeah. And so this 2018 would be right after Spider-Man Homecoming, right?
Right. So
Yeah.
maybe I was pretty into I was like, yeah, you got me with
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
Twink
Let's keep
Tom
going.
Holland, you're big
Yeah.
into yeah. So there you go. I mean, I enjoyed that this one is just like stands on its own. I think with the sequels they try so the second one like they try to connect it like at the end and it sucks. And then at the beginning of the third one, they literally Venom goes like fuck these multiverses or something like that. And then they just teleport back to their universe and then it's as if they just retcon the end of the second one. They're like, "Don't worry about that multiverse bullshit. Like we're just going
That's
to
funny.
continue the story where we left off," which was a good choice. It made the third movie like watchable. If the third movie was like some multiverse shit, I would have just hated it. But yeah, just even the second one when it starts to try to connect, you're like, can you just make these movies? I don't know. I don't like that everything has to be connected to all this shit, and then there's the TV shows, and you have to have all this outside knowledge. I'm like, if there's three Venom movies, can I just watch these three Venom movies? Like, I can just watch Blade 1, 2, and 3, and you enjoy them, and that's what they are. You don't have to
Yeah.
have all this other stuff. It doesn't have to be all connected to an outside universe. But
Right.
that's not a problem for this first movie. So I liked that in this first movie that it is its just own standalone thing. And the ending, the mid-credit scene with Carnage with the crazy awful hair, just one of the worst wigs I've ever seen. That was kind of dumb. But yeah, overall it's like I like that this was a self-contained thing. I thought Riz Ahmed was pretty good as the villain. Uh, just like super evil tech billionaire, very relevant to our times. I thought it was, yeah, and like someone who will do anything in the name of like science, quote unquote, or progress, quote unquote. Like people just, I don't know, like this is a thing. People like they're still testing on animals in real life. And I'm
Yeah.
like, who goes, I mean, I don't know, who goes to work and is like spraying shampoo in a bunny rabbit's eyes and they're like, well, I feel good about myself. It's like, are you not just gonna like jump off a building? Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, how is that?
Yeah.
Why is that? How's that still a thing? But it is. I guess people are fucked up. And yeah. So this guy, I was like, yeah, I believe that this is what would happen if a billionaire got these alien organisms. He would just like he doesn't view anyone else as valuable of anything. It's just
Yeah.
all completely megalomaniacal, which is megalomaniacal people. A big problem.
Yeah. And of
Not
course he has
good.
all this power, right? To like right when he gets interviewed and targeted, he like shuts down. He like uh Eddie Brock like cannot get another job, and even
Hmm.
his doesn't his girlfriend like lose her job too, fiance at the time. And so she like breaks up with him and everything. And like
It's funny. It's literally back-to-back scenes. I thought it so the editing is a little choppy in the movie.
yeah.
I, sometimes within scenes it can be like I think this happens a lot with these big budget movies too. Like they're trying to get things as tight as possible or like and they over edit. But also I feel like they cut out entire scenes sometimes. And like it literally goes like he gets fired and then he goes to his girlfriend's house and then she's like, I'm breaking up with you. You hacked my computer, you whatever, stole information from my email. So it's just like
Yeah.
one right after another. It felt like there should have been a scene in between, but I thought it was kind of funny the way it was just like, oh, this guy's like life is just falling apart. So it kind of
Yeah.
worked, but it was weird.
Yeah. And I was a little confused too because she was like, you you cost me my job, and I was like at first I was like, did I hear that right? Because I didn't know that she lost her job, and I was like, did she mean to say that he lost his job? Like what? And then I realized, oh, like I just didn't. It wasn't as obvious for me to put together that like the guy had that much reach because it never really explained that. It just was like, here's like 2 seconds
Yeah.
after he loses his job, here's her. But yeah,
Yeah, I guess it's she's like a lawyer for a firm that's working for him. So
right.
that's like part of it, I guess. But yeah, it's funny. The computer she's using is an Apple computer, and this is a Sony movie. Sony famously, if you know, like the Amazing Spider-Man, when they're like, it's all Sony products that are in everything, like the phones and the computer, like everything in the Sony movies, it's all Sony. And
Yeah,
like he uses Bing in
yeah,
Amazing
right.
Spider-Man, which is funny. But this one being an Apple computer, and then I guess because they didn't want to show someone's email being like hacked into or whatever information being taken from a Sony computer, they're like, yeah, this we'll give her an Apple
Yeah.
computer. I thought at first I saw that and I was like, that means she's gonna be the villain because they're like, we don't want this villain to use a Sony computer. But yeah, kind of funny that this is hopefully one of our only episodes where that topic will come up, where like product placement is such a big thing that I'm like thinking of it as I see a computer. I'm like, oh, that's probably gonna play into the plot. Like, oh my God, just kind of dystopian how all these companies like own everything and put their products in and all this shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Man, even all right, hold on. Sorry. The Running Man. I mentioned it earlier.
Mm.
It has like two literal commercials in it. One for Liquid Death and maybe was it just the one, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, you see Liquid Death on oh yeah, it is a
It's a
commercial
little
or
commercial. Like,
something. Yeah.
yeah, it's like a cut to like the guy. He's like he's smooth talking a little bit, and then he's like, anyways, it ends up being a commercial for Liquid Death. And I was like, that's insane. And I also kind of thought it was funny. And I hate that. And I hate that so much. Um yeah, anyways, product placement is all over the place. It's insane nowadays. But
Yeah. Yeah, and it was funny in one of the sequels to Venom, at one point he says, "Oh, I need a Tylenol." And I was like, did Tylenol pay to have them say like I need a Tylenol instead of like I need an Advil or I need a just an ibuprofen or
yeah.
I have a headache. Like he says specifically I have a Tylenol. I was like they probably paid for that.
Yeah, you're writing the script and like they're like, can you just change this so it's a branded name? It's like
Yeah.
we can get someone to pay for it if we put a brand in here.
Yeah. Very funny. And
Yeah.
it's interesting in all three movies, he's wearing a Golden State Warriors shirt, which I don't like the Warriors. So immediately I was like, you're putting hurdles in front of yourself, movie. Um, but I was like, what's the process of that? Obviously, they're in San Francisco, so that's why. But also he's from New York. So has he become a Golden State Warriors fan, like since he moved over there? Is it just the shirt? They don't really address it. They never talk about basketball, I don't think. But he's just wearing this shirt in all three movies because they take place over like a very short period of time.
Oh.
Um, and yeah, I guess like that's also like, is that product placement or I don't know.
Yeah. Weird. Um, yeah. Yeah, that's weird. And also like do
But
these
people,
companies like go up to the studio, or does the studio have people that like reaches out to companies, right? I mean, I don't know. The whole process seems so
yeah.
odd.
And I wonder because like in movies, people will wear like, oh, he's wearing like a Yankees hat or something like that, and it's like maybe they just do it just because it's like, well, this is the
Character.
guy's from this place. Yeah, it's just part of what the character would do, and then like the teams are like, well, yeah, if you're gonna put our logos in a big movie, that's free advertising for us.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But anyway, yeah.
Um, but yeah, and also just we've talked a little about the sequels. I've seen the second one. I saw the second one around when it came out, probably when it came in a at a drive-in theater. So I assume that that's right around when it came out. Probably a little bit later than normal theaters, but I did not see the third at all because the second one I was very disappointed by the second, I think. Um,
Yeah.
and yeah, so I'm glad to hear the third one's redeemable. Gets back into
I
fruit.
I thought they were both okay. Like both honestly, all three movies have the same thing where at the beginning I'm like, this kind of sucks. And then there's a point in the middle where there's like a cool scene, and I'm like, I like Venom. Like, this is pretty fun. And then like it's mostly dumb fun for the rest of it. And then the ending is like, meh, not the best. And then I'm at the end, I'm like, it wasn't the worst time. So that's pretty much the experience of all three movies.
That makes sense. Um, Also
But
crazy. Did you know that Pedro Pascal was like in the talks to being Carlton Drake?
no, no, I did not. This would have been like kind of early Pedro Pascal. Yeah.
Maybe I would have liked it a little bit more, you know?
Maybe, yeah, yeah, yeah. You really like Pedro Pascal. I mean, Riz Ahmed's a handsome guy.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And
All
also
right.
Pedro Pascal.
All right. I thought
Anyways,
Riz Ahmed was good.
yeah, I didn't think it was bad. Also, I went on a rabbit hole in the like history of trying to make a Venom film. Did you read much about
Oh,
this?
no.
This is insane. This process had over the course of almost 30 years. Oh
Wow.
no, I guess yeah, 30 years. Um had gone from like uh sorry, 20 years. I can't do math. But
The ni
as,
late 90s.
yeah, as far back as 1997, they were trying to make a Venom film. And it had been rewritten and had half of a dozen scripts like fully made during different various parts of this.
Oh.
One time they tried to connect it to the Amazing Spider-Man movies. One time they tried to do a spin-off of Spider-Man 3. They wanted to do like an R-rated version of this at one point, um, with like a similar tone as The Mask, apparently, which is hilarious.
Oh.
Yeah. Um, and yeah, so many different attempts to do this over such a long time. It's almost amazing that it actually happened and worked. Like I feel like when that almost feels cursed, right? Like there's a point there where it's like no matter what you do, it's probably not going to come out well, you know? Like that's a long drawn out history of too many people reaching their toes into this thing and trying to make it something different and whatnot. And
Why their toes? Why'd they put their toes in it?
uh that's just what Venom does, dude.
Yeah, he's a foot guy. His
He's a
Venom.
foot guy,
I
dude.
mean, if you see on YouTube, look at that tongue. I mean, it's
There,
probably
he is going
a
after some
foot freak.
toes. Yeah.
Big
But so
Tarantino fan.
crazy, crazy series of events here to get this movie made. Obviously, this movie itself was really not in production for 20 years or even
Well, yeah.
more than that, but less than that. But it is interesting that like people have wanted to be making a Venom movie for so long. It's like this character has a lot of appeal to him. He has a lot of different comic spin-offs to him, right? Like Venom is a pretty notable character, I think, in the like comic book like zeitgeist or whatever, right? Like if you can say
Yeah.
that, right? Um, so it's almost amazing that it took this long. I mean, obviously Spider-Man 3 had Venom in it, but
Yeah.
it's
Rough.
cool that we finally it's cool that we finally got a like full
A
Venom
good
movie.
Venom.
Yeah. And again, it's like,
Not
yeah, it's not great, but
better than Spider-Man 3.
better than Spider-Man 3. And also on the list of highest grossing movies of all time. Wasn't it?
Yeah,
It was in that
Spider-Man
top?
3.
That's crazy.
I believe it's up there. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. Did
Um,
you so
yeah.
I had a little note toward the beginning of the movie when his life is completely fallen to shit. Before he goes to the uh the the building with whatever Carlton Drake's building and all that. He is on like a bridge, and it's like implied that I think he's gonna kill himself.
Oh shoot. I
I
don't
got
That's interesting. I didn't get that take from it, but
that's why else was he walking on that bridge? He was like looking at over the edge, like just sitting there, and I think he was like thinking about killing himself, and then he was like,
he sees
"Oh, you
Carlton
know
Drake's
what?"
building, right?
He sees the building, and then he
Yeah.
calls like I think Jenny Slate had called him previously.
Yeah.
maybe. Yeah. And then they he decides like, oh, you know what, I'll do that.
Yeah. That's funny. Not funny.
I just
That's
thought it was an interesting implication in like a PG-13 big budget superhero movie where I don't know if that's I think it was intended. I don't know if it was, but that's how I interpreted it. And but it's never mentioned or said or anything. It's very like so it's they have to sneak it in there,
yeah.
this big budget superhero movie.
Yeah. That's interesting. I did not pick up on that, but I do see what you're saying. And yeah, I see what you're saying. Um that's fascinating. Another thing that like people think might be like kind of snuck in the movie is like the idea of like some queer identity here of like Venom and uh Eddie Brock being like in a relationship or like representing a relationship or being like representing a repressed sexuality thing. And I don't I don't buy it. I'm gonna be honest. I'm glad that people can interpret and like get something out of this if that's what they need to see from it. But also I feel like in my experience in the movie and also in life, like I don't know if I really see what they're saying. But I think that is
Yeah.
notable since a lot of people seem to latch onto that on the internet.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you. But
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, in the sequels there's like maybe they make jokes about it like they're a couple. Like they fight like a couple almost. I see that.
Yeah.
But it's really as far as it goes, pretty much.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I think that's interesting, and I think that people can certainly get that out of it if they want, and if that's something that helps them. But I'm not sure I really see it, and I feel like there's also just like better queer movies if that's what you're looking for.
Well, yeah.
Like
Yeah, definitely.
but
N- nothing where there's a guy that looks has these giant teeth and that giant tongue and he's yeah, pretty crazy. Uh
um, speaking of, this should have been just R-rated because
yeah,
we're talking about the teeth. We're talking about if they wanted to make some queer thing here or whatever, whatever they wanted to do. If this was R-rated, it would have been at least half a star better, probably more than that. I'm gonna say it.
yeah, I think it would have been better if it was R-rated. I wonder if it would have become too Deadpool-y though. A little too edgy, a little too annoying.
Yeah, that's true.
Could have
And
been.
also, it probably would not have been on this list.
Yeah, it definitely would not have been on this list. Um yeah, definitely.
I was
And
looking
there's
also back
there's
at the
no
list.
world I don't think where it's like actually considered a gay thing. I don't think
Yeah,
that movie would ever be made with this type of budget trying to appeal to international audiences and like
yeah,
no.
yeah. Um, yeah. Also, I mean, I don't know. Um, I think that there are like more more interesting ways and more creative ways that you can like show complex like interior repression if that's what you're looking for, or just like queer metaphors and stuff that I don't know if like this guy that wreaks havoc on the city is the best. I
Yeah.
mean, he like tears up a building while he's climbing up it.
Yeah, he kills people. He
Yeah,
eats
he literally
people's
eats people's
heads.
heads off. Like I don't know,
Yeah.
like that seems more like queer monster to me, like if that's what
Yeah.
but yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I would have probably enjoyed the movie better if it was R-rated though. And again, I have a bias to horror movies in general, and
Hmm.
again, it probably would not be on this list, so we wouldn't even be talking about it if it was R-rated. So whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I did like when Eddie they're trying to escape. They go to the top of a building to get like information or something. They climb up it. It's kind of cool scene. And I forget exactly what building they're. Maybe I'm confusing
Yeah,
things. But
it's the newspaper building or whatever, right?
yeah,
Like his
but
old workplace.
is this the same building where Venom tells Eddie to jump and then
Yeah.
he takes the elevator and he calls him a pussy?
Yeah, that
Uh,
was wild. I did
that
not
was
expect that.
funny. Yeah, I thought that was very
That was
funny.
good. When
And
he
then he
used
and then he
yeah.
gets attacked when he goes down, so he should have jumped.
Yeah. That was also I feel like a good use of like, you don't get a lot of words like that in a PG-13 movie. So
Yeah,
that
you
was
got to
I feel
use them
like
wisely.
that was well earned there. Um,
And it's crazy, like the cops are like attacking Venom and stuff, and he's like throwing these guys around, like mashing them into the ground, like whipping them around into each other, like going absolutely insane. And I'm like, there's no blood, so it's able to be PG-13, which is such a stupid rule. But like these guys are definitely dying, right? Like
yeah,
they're certainly maimed and paralyzed or something.
also like yeah, we watch him eat people's heads, and like we watch people get like
Does he eat people's heads in this movie? I know at the
yeah,
end he eats the guy's head in the convenience store, right?
yes, he also eats a cop's head during that scene at the building, I think.
Oh, does he?
Um, maybe one in the apartment too when they're like first running around because he like
Mm.
eats it to like fuel up, he says, or something, right?
Yeah.
So I
Yeah,
think
you
there's
could be
at
right.
least twice where it happens. Um,
Mm.
but
That's okay. They deserved it.
yeah,
Self-defense. It was self-defense.
but then also like the people that are just kidnapped off the street are getting like literally like eaten alive from the inside essentially by the parasites in these like
Yeah.
locked chambers, and it's like yeah, there's no blood.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, there is a lot of death and destruction
Yeah,
in the movie.
yeah. Also, speaking of death and destruction, I feel like we've been on this for a bit, but the final fight scene was pretty underwhelming, I would say. Um, I mean, with Riot and stuff, I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know, it was okay, but it wasn't like I feel like the car chase scene is way better than that final fight scene.
I agree. I agree that the car chase was the best action scene for sure. I didn't mind the ending. There is a lot of just CGI Venom alien stuff, goopy stuff all gooping together, and they're trying to it's all weird. That's like what it is. They're like goopy
Yeah,
and they're all mashing into each other and
yeah,
punching
goopy.
and it's weird. It's weird. I don't know. That's what it is. It's goopy Venom stuff.
Yeah, that's how you know it's a queer metaphor. Uh,
Disgusting.
uh,
All right, let's
we're still on air, Ryan. Crap. Um,
I
yeah,
noticed this line. They say sound is like his kryptonite. I think
yeah.
Michelle Williams says that, but they're referencing Superman in a like Marvel context. So in this world, is Superman a fictional comic book character?
Yeah, that's funny, huh? I guess so. And also, Kryptonite. You would think that like DC still holds a copyright for that or something. Kryptonite's not a real
Yeah.
thing, but
Yeah,
it's almost like, like there's words like Google. Like people can say that's like
it just
not
means
copyrighted
search.
anymore, right? Um, and it's like there's some legal thing where like once a word is like in the public, uh, I don't know, when it's like defined by the public in a certain way, like
Hmm,
it's no longer able to be held as a copyright, right?
hmm.
And so I wonder if like because people say like that's like your kryptonite, right? Like kryptonite's almost dissociated from Superman in that way.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
interesting. So I wonder if it is just in it's not trademarked anymore. You can't trademark it because it's just
I
normal.
guess. Yeah, I just thought it was an interesting choice to like. Why even say the word? Like, why not just say it's his like weakness or sound is like whatever. I don't know. You don't. There's a million ways to describe it that are not saying kryptonite. I just thought it was kind of an interesting choice. I don't know.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I don't know. That's funny.
Yeah. Anyway, I
Yeah.
don't really have anything else to say about that. But
It is
oh,
interesting. Yeah.
so the first half, like the first like 40 minutes of the movie before Eddie becomes Venom, they like kind of shoehorn in the alien lands in Malaysia and like takes over a person's body, this like lady EMT, and then she goes like to this village and she fights some guys who try to kill her and like pretty cool, like she shoots out all these venom like spikes out of her back and kills them. And then she like turns into the old lady. The old lady goes to the airport, becomes a little kid, and then I think the little kid just like walks in the building somehow.
Something like that.
But obviously from the beginning, I'm like, well, I think I had seen that Riz Ahmed is credited as like Carlton Drake slash Riot. So I
Oh,
was like, but also it's pretty obvious that like
yeah.
it's gonna happen. But I think it was somewhat kind of spoiled for me. But I was like, well, obviously one of these things that he's captured is going to escape, and that's how he's going to become Riot. Like that seems so obvious. But they have this like convoluted, uh, like almost unnecessary thing that it seemed like to me it was only in the movie so that there could be a couple action sequences in the beginning, just to give so there's not like 30 minutes of no action at the beginning of a superhero movie. Um, but it actually like ties in, and then that's how he becomes Riot, is like the little girl ends up there. Uh, which is just a weird, seemingly unnecessarily convoluted thing, but I don't know. It
Yeah.
was unexpected.
Yeah. I feel like it was definitely convoluted. I don't know. I do see like the having some action scenes, but it was definitely a bit unnecessary, right? I mean,
I
I
Yeah, and it's like I was assuming either it would escape from his like the things he captured escaped, or he would like maybe see Venom or see it and be like, I want the power, and then he would choose to do it. Like that seems like the more obvious thing. But yeah.
yeah. Also, the like it makes me wonder, right? Because there's a good amount of the movie where you just don't have any Venom, and that's the weakest part, in my opinion, right? I mean, everyone's here to see Venom, right? What are you doing, right? And so the it makes me wonder, like, if you just had the thing crash land like on the coast of California, and then they were able to get them, and they're all at the lab, and then you just move on faster. Like you get to Venom a little bit quicker, and then it's like I can understand fluffing up some action in the beginning, but like I don't know. I wonder if that's really helpful or if that actually just extends the time when you don't have, especially where you see the couple of short scenes where it's like, okay, here's the old lady going into the airport. Okay, we're leaving that again. We'll see her when she lands, but
Hmm.
going back to Venom now or whatever, Eddie Brock. But so yeah, I do wonder like what like couldn't you just have kept going, you know?
I guess so. I mean, the movie's only 92 minutes long for the credits, like I said.
Yeah,
So
that
they
is
kind of
weird. Yeah, that's true.
it's short to the point, but I feel like they just needed it to break it up and add like another element to it, so it wasn't too straightforward.
Yeah, they could have just introduced Venom earlier. I don't know.
Yeah, but I guess they wanted the time to set up all the relationship stuff, which didn't really work for me, but I guess is the idea. Like they wanted time to get to know Eddie Brock before he's Venom.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
But yeah. Um I did like that like he gets separated from Venom and he's in the hospital and then Venom goes into a little dog.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
cool. And then you get
He,
She Venom too.
yeah, and then he goes into Michelle Williams and then there's like sexy Venom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the word.
And then they kiss.
Um,
It was sexy Venom. He was like sexy Venom or like I don't know, whatever.
yeah,
I just thought it was funny that it's like Venom, like if he takes over a female body,
yeah,
has like boobs and like
yeah.
hips and is like looks like sexy comic book lady, like,
But
but
then when he takes over Eddie Brock, he has giant muscles and is
yeah,
yeah,
he's
yeah,
jacked,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, just kind of
Hilarious.
like yeah, you'd think it would just be like he just turns into his alien form, or whatever.
Yeah.
Also, I wonder if he's in a like if he's in Anne's body or whatever, symbiotic with her body, is his voice like female now? Or
Mm.
does he still have the same voice?
Yeah, funny.
Or
Yeah,
is
because
he
it
now
is Eddie
she?
Brock. It is Eddie Brock's actual voice, right? He's just doing a little weird thing with his voice. So that is funny. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's based on that logic. It must be a
Female voice?
female voice.
I don't know. Because they never
Weird.
talk. They can't talk
Yeah.
unless they are symbiotic. But he does have his own like personality and
Yeah.
consciousness, it seems like. It's very strange. Very strange concept.
It
Concept.
is. Um. Yeah. Weird.
Anyway.
I kind of do want to like watch the sequels now.
They're pretty fun. If you have stars, stars with a Z, that's where you can watch Let There Be Carnage. However, you've already seen Let There Be Carnage, and the Last Dance, which is the third one, is on Netflix. So you can just watch that there.
Why? Wait. I'm sorry. These are not all just on.
No, they're all on three different things.
That's atrocious. This is the state that we live in.
Yeah.
Whatever. Cool.
They do that with like
Yeah.
Creed. I remember I watched Creed, and then Creed 2 was on like Showtime or something, and then Creed 3 was somewhere else, and whatever. Still
It's
don't
funny
think I've
though. This is
seen
like a
Creed.
huge. This is like. I know it's not Disney owned, right? It's like Sony. It's like Marvel. You would think that like Disney would pay them enough money to just put it on Disney Plus, you know? But
I don't know.
don't they want all their Marvel stuff?
It's interesting. I also just saw that Aquaman 2 just came onto Netflix, which is weird because all the
Yeah.
DC stuff is generally on HBO
Max.
Max because it's like Warner Brothers owns it. So I don't know why. I don't know if Aquaman 2 is on both or if it's just on Netflix for right now. But yeah, I guess it makes sense. Like Netflix wants to get some variety in their catalog. I guess Aquaman 2 is the way to do it. I don't know. I watched a little clip from Aquaman 2 and I was like, this does not look great.
That makes sense.
Did not make me want to watch the movie.
I'll tell you what, from Aquaman 1, it probably only gets better.
I mean, maybe. Aquaman 1 was so long.
That was long. It was bad. Everything looked
Mm,
bad. The hair was CGI. Oh my God. Yeah.
yeah. I'll tell you
Anyways.
what, Lilo and Stitch, the underwater scenes, very well done, especially in comparison to
Oh,
Aquaman.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think they just actually filmed humans underwater, which they didn't do for Aquaman, I don't think.
And they did have like they had a stand-in for Stitch, so all the like the water splashes for Stitch and stuff,
Oh, yeah, there you go.
were at least they originated as being real things, and then
What's
they
the
probably had
stand-in for like a
there was like a puppet at times. I don't know. I assume
someone in
maybe
a
still
scuba suit
some underwater puppet. Yeah,
flopping
that'd
their
be funny.
hands? I was like,
Yeah, that's right.
did they just like throw a dog in? Like,
Ha.
like don't
Um,
drown.
I think a dog might have been used for a stand-in during the scenes at the animal shelter. I think I read that.
Oh,
So
okay.
when she like when it like when Stitch is like on top of her and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
um
Cute.
also funny, there's a frog in Stitch a few times. You see a frog kind of prominently when he lands, and then another time in the woods or something.
Yeah.
And there's the frog you said in Venom.
Venom 3. Yeah, there's a Venom horse. There's a Venom fish.
Whoa.
There's a really quick Venom frog. And then yeah, first Venom there's a Venom dog. Are there any other Venom like cool versions? The Last Dance, there are other symbiotes.
Yeah, that's cool.
Obviously, like Carnage has is in the second one, and then there's also another like character called like I forget what the
Yeah.
Shriek, who like screams real loud, which is funny because that's the way that's their kryptonite. Um, but yeah, so there's some good Venom stuff in the sequels. I don't know, they're not. I gave both the sequels 2.5 stars. I gave the first Venom 3 stars. So it's not like I'm saying these movies are great or anything like that, but they're
Right.
kind of like fun, dumb movies that are kind of enjoyable.
We're working with what we got here, you know.
Yeah,
That's funny though. I also gave Venom 3 stars. I thought, yeah, fun, whatever, you know. Um, yeah,
yeah. I think I don't know. The villain actually, I think Riz Ahmed gives a good performance. It's a little bit one note because he's just so like evil and the same pretty much the whole movie. But he's also a comic book villain, so like it's fine. I think it worked, and I think it was relevant to our world in a way that I liked. I think Venom 2 and 3 do not have any of that there at all. It's a lot just kind of sillier. Like the second one, the villain's like a comic book serial killer type of thing.
yeah,
And then the third one, it's like otherworldly threat, basically. Uh, so it's kind of cool that this one is like, I don't know, it can relate, have relevant themes to our world.
yeah, definitely. Nice. Well,
Yeah.
any other
I,
things about Venom
I
or
don't know.
which?
I have some notes here that I don't know. Oh, there's a Stan Lee cameo at the very
Yes,
end.
classic.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
Uh,
2018. So, did, when did he pass away again? I mean, not that long after that.
yeah, I don't know the exact date,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, it was there's no Stan Lee cameo in the other two. So
Yeah, that's one of his later cameos, I think.
yeah, yeah. But let me see. Oh, I did like how they set it up where at the beginning of the movie the shopkeeper gets like
Yeah.
uh what's the word? I don't
Extorted.
know. Yeah, yeah, extorted, yeah, basically by like the well, I don't know, mafia cartel, gang, drug, who knows, whatever. Criminals. Criminals
Yeah.
extort the shopkeeper. And Eddie can't do anything about it. And then at the end of the movie, it happens again. And now he's with Venom and they can exact vengeance and be the lethal protector. Uh, and so I like that, the way they set that up.
Full circle, baby.
Yeah, so that was cool. And I will say the shopkeeper, I think her name is Miss Chen. She might come back in Venom 3, The Last
What?
Dance. Yeah. She might have a little small role.
All right.
It's
Well,
kind of it's kind of yeah, yeah, yeah.
I might be watching this one.
I will say the scene where Venom is at like a rave, that's in the second one, right?
I think so. I
It's
remember a rave.
okay,
Yeah.
it's definitely not in the first one.
No, no, no.
No, no. Yeah, that's in the second one. Yeah. Because it's like Halloween and he's like, everyone thinks he's in
Yeah.
a costume. Yeah. I like that. I like that scene. Sometimes, like,
Shane's just here for the teeth. Shane's just whether it's
sometimes
Stitch or Venom, Shane's just here
I
for the
like how we're both like turning like this to try to show. Yeah. Like, sometimes there's just a guy that looks like that, and you're like, that's kind of cool that that's in a movie. Like, that's a crazy looking guy. Um,
These are both
yeah.
crazy looking dudes. So
Yeah, for real. Crazy looking aliens.
yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Oh my god,
With
yeah.
that cause mayhem and but
Eat.
have good hearts. They like to eat. Does Stitch eat a lot?
He goes after the cake. Like every time he sees it at the
Yeah, he
beginning. That
does.
kind of
Yeah, he
drops. He
does.
doesn't really do that after, but
Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah, interesting. They're kind of similar characters. Yeah, there you go.
the
Uh
perfect duo here.
I will say, oh yeah, it was funny when at the end, like Eddie calls Venom a parasite, and then he's like offended by it, and then Eddie says it's a term of endearment, and I was like, wow, that was kind of an edgy, like you just made a joke about the N-word in like a PG-13 superhero movie, but okay, all right, that was kind of funny. And then there's the credits play, and there's the Eminem song, Venom, Venom, really bad, awful song. The credits are cool; they look like a Rorschach test. I like that. Song, bad. But then there's the mid-credit scene of Carnage. Worst wig I've ever seen. What are we doing? And
Awful.
then in the regular credits, there's a Run the Jewels song that's actually good. And they should have had that instead of the Eminem Venom song. And that's my take.
Interesting.
Run the Jewels,
I
good rap duo, good song.
nice. I don't know if I specifically remember that song, but I'm glad that it was good.
Yeah, it just
I
played over like the regular rolling credits, and then there's the like Spider-Verse scene, which I thought was stupid. Why?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, especially now where the movie's out. Like,
yeah. Like
I don't
it
know.
just feels like like you just played a trailer at the end of the movie, but it's technically part of the movie. Really stupid. So didn't like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I guess that's the end of my notes. Yeah, like I said, 3 stars for Venom. I liked it. Interesting. Both these movies are like kind of enjoyable, but not that great. Mixed bag. But I feel like we both picked something that could appeal to us, even if they aren't the greatest pieces of cinema.
Yeah. I agree. And I think they were both ultimately good watches, whatever. Um, yeah. This
You
one,
want to do the rating recap?
yeah, this one's rating recap. We've got 2.9 out of 5 on Letterboxd,
Tough.
6.6 out of 10 on IMDb, 31% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow.
That's messed up. And 80% audience score. So again, the
There you
audience
go.
score here.
The people speak for
Yes,
Venom. The
that's right.
dang critics got a stick up their ass, Oh, I can't enjoy a Venom. Oh, there's bad CGI. Oh, it's edited like all crazy. Oh, what? What are we gonna critique it? So lame. The guy has big teeth and a giant tongue, and he eats people. and he slides down hills, and he's on a motorcycle, and then he sends black alien goo onto a pole and swings around a corner.
Yeah, don't we know to just enjoy it? Come on, sit
Yeah,
down.
come on. What are you supposed to be, a movie critic who's supposed to critique things and analyze things?
What do you
Come
think this
on.
is? Your job? Come
So
on.
that's so lame, dude. I hate critics.
It is interesting
Anyway.
that both these movies, highest grossing, some of the highest grossing movies of all times, do have quite a considerable jump. I mean, not quite as much with Lilo and Stitch, but with the critic versus the audience, right? I mean,
Hmm.
the audience will go see it, you know?
Yeah, I
Um,
guess so. Yeah. 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 I do understand why people would be like,
yeah.
with Lilo and Stitch, I'm like, it makes sense that a lot of people would be like, well, that was okay, but thumbs up. And then Venom, I get why people would be like, well, that was okay, but thumbs down. Like it's
Yeah.
kind of a cheesy, like it is cheesy and not that great. And like this was at the peak of superhero popularity. And like, I don't know, people have certain expectations. I think I knew what to expect going in. I knew that it was going to be a little bit cheesy and like silly, and I just appreciated that it was quick and uh there were some good scenes. And yeah, anyway, I
Yeah.
don't actually hate critics like that. Some
No, yeah.
when people complain about critics too much, sometimes it's annoying. So I was a little bit just making fun of people who do that. But I don't know.
But so the average
Sometimes
here,
people act like critics are, there's something like they just hate critics so much.
demonic.
Yeah, it's funny. The whole point is you can look at reviews, and if something has really bad reviews, maybe you don't spend your money on it. It can be helpful. Critics can be helpful.
Yeah.
But anyway,
But the average here is
yes.
5.875 out of 10. So almost 5.9 out of 10. So, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Reasonable.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
So
A
that
little bit, a
is,
little bit low for my taste, but that's okay.
yeah, well, that's okay. I think it's funny because I think the first time I watched this, I was definitely on the lower end. And then I don't know, something about this time, I was like, I was just more willing to just join the ride, be on that
Hmm.
motorcycle with him.
Dude, I think the Venom song like did fuck this movie over a little bit. Like I think because I never saw it because I just heard that
Yeah.
Venom song and I said this sucks.
Venom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Venom.
um,
Venom. So anyway, my rendition of it is even worse for a pod. Now people had to listen to that. Uh,
it might be better. Well,
I guess that's that.
that is that. I guess it's
Cool.
time to, well, while Shane gets the cup ready, I'll say next week we have a really exciting episode for me.
Yeah.
And I think I'm sure Shane has a pretty cool list for this at this point, but which is going to be our top 5 found footage movies. Um, I'm making a point of this myself. So anyone that's going to be watching next week, I am not going to be including Paranormal Activity or the Blair Witch Project. Paranormal Activity because we've covered it on the podcast, all this stuff. Blair Witch because it there's nothing. I'm not going to say anything about Blair Witch. If you are watching a found footage episode, you probably know a little bit about Blair Witch. So I'm going to try to hit on a few things, some of my favorites that maybe people that like the genre maybe haven't necessarily seen.
Interesting. Okay, there you go.
So just a fair heads up to
Yes,
people.
next week will be fun. I am gonna get five. I was able to scrape together five. It's it's but yeah, this is definitely an episode in Ryan's wheelhouse.
I'm still curious if we're gonna have any overlap because there's a possibility. I
We I
think
think we I think there's gonna be at least one overlap. I
nice.
think. I
There's
think.
good movies.
But we'll
There's
see.
there's a lot of movies. Yeah, Paranormal
Yeah.
Activity 2.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. Honestly, Paranormal Activity like five or whichever one was the one set in like LA. That one was like that one almost that if I had a top 10, it would probably make it. It probably would. All right.
All right, let's
Now
do it.
it's time for the category cup. I guess I'll hold it right in front of me
Yeah, we got the
because
backgrounds
I got the
going.
background, so
Oh,
it's going out a little bit. But
it's like a magic trick.
anyway,
Where'd the thing
I'll
come
close
from?
my eyes. You guys can see on YouTube. I'm picking the category. This will be for our next full episode in 2 weeks. We're gonna be picking the category. So we got top five found footage. I will say after this, we got Christmas movies. So we're gonna
Yeah,
do found footage, then whatever this topic is that I'm holding right here. And then we're gonna do a Christmas movie episode because our episode's gonna come out on Christmas, like
yeah,
whatever, a few weeks from now.
yeah. Kind of a
But
banger layout where we had the Thanksgiving episode, now a Christmas. Yeah, And we
Yeah, it
have
worked.
an episode that came out the day before Halloween this year. So a pretty good lineup here.
Yeah, it worked out. But our next full episode, the topic is originals that were remade.
Whoa,
So
cool. All
originals that
right.
have been remade at some point.
Interesting.
And there we go.
That's cool. I could pick Blair Witch. Get some extra found
Yeah.
footage in here.
Yeah, you could. Let's
Originals
see.
that have been remade.
It's
Oh man,
yeah.
Leo and Stitch.
Oh yeah, we could just yeah, we could do the first Lilo and Stitch, yeah. Should we include movies that are based on the same book?
Oh,
I don't know
interesting.
if that'll come up, but
It's a good question.
yeah.
I would be open to that as long as I think it depends, right? Like the thing. Yeah, I don't know. I think it depends almost because like they shouldn't be too far off, right? I don't know. Also, do we have to have
Yeah.
seen the remakes?
No, I don't
Ah,
think so. No, just
cool,
any original movie that's been remade.
cool, cool.
Well, it's interesting because like The Thing from the 80s was like sort of a remake prequel, but then
Yeah,
that itself is a remake of a movie from the 50s, which I
right.
have not seen. I've only seen the 80s one, the John Carpenter. There are some great ones. Oh wow, RoboCop is an option.
Ooh,
12 Angry Men, it's an option. Rear Window, we already covered it, but
yeah, we're doing Rear Window again.
oh, Point Break.
Oh shoot, is it time to finally
Oh,
get Point Break in
it
here?
might be time to Point Break. Also, Total Recall would have been a choice, but we've already done Total Recall.
Yeah,
Yeah, I might. I mean, Point Break might. It might just. It might be time. A lot of good movies,
that
though.
that's kind of awesome. I there's a lot. I mean, it's almost like they remake ones that are good, you know?
Yeah. There's The Taking of Pelham 123. That's a good movie. I've never seen the remake, but I've
Yeah,
seen the original.
that's funny. I
Oh,
think I've
dude,
only seen the remake.
I will tell you. I think this is one of your favorite movies, Psycho.
Oh shoot, we could. Oh man, I can do Psycho. Oh, that's sick.
You could do Psycho.
That's
Yeah.
sick. I I know I probably shouldn't pick this one for the podcast, but I saw Funny Games. Um,
Oh, you
not
saw
so I haven't
the.
seen it, but
Oh,
it's on. Yeah, I saw that it's on here, and I was like, oh yeah, that's right.
yep.
But that's kind of a funny one because it's kind of remade. It isn't the remake kind of identical, only in English and made by the same
Yes.
director and everything.
Yes.
So that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Um,
Some other good ones to shout out: The Bad News Bears, great movie, and then the remake sucks. Uh, The Wages of Fear, good movie, also good remake, Sorcerer. So that's another cool option. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think anything is taking out Point Break for me.
are you doing Point Break for sure?
I
Interesting.
mean, I'm pretty certain right now. Like
Yeah, that makes sense.
there are a lot of cool options, but I don't know. We already covered Black Christmas, but Black Christmas.
Yeah, that was one I noticed. Oh man, I might just do Psycho.
Did we did we cover Dawn of the Dead? We did, right? The no, we covered
We
the
covered the
remake.
remake. That would be funny
Right.
to do
We covered the
the.
remake.
We kind
I
of
guess
talked
we
about the. I
yeah.
think that episode we kind of said we had to talk about both, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
because that episode was remakes, right?
yeah. Oh, that's
Yeah.
funny. I
Wait,
was
what did
gonna
we pick?
say, well, we did
We
Dawn
did
of the Dead and we did.
what was the other one? I'll check. I'll check. I'll pull it up.
um. Yeah, I might just run with Psycho.
I am looking and I cannot find why am I having so much trouble finding this?
I will say I just did watch The Wicker Man, rewatched The Wicker Man pretty recently, and that movie's pretty awesome. But I don't know.
Oh yeah. The other one we did was Insomnia,
That's
the Christopher
right.
Nolan remake of the Norwegian or Swedish movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, on my letterbox list for like all the Mind Your Movie stuff we've covered, I don't have the original Dawn of the Dead or the original Insomnia like in the list. So I feel like they're not official picks, like officially we picked the remakes. So I feel like those are allowed, but I don't think that would be smart to pick them. Like why
Yeah,
would we basically already talked about them.
yeah. And we did pretty extensively talk about the originals in that episode, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, we covered them pretty good. So,
Um, I could also do. I mean, I could do something like Ghost in the Shell or something.
ooh, that's a fire pick, dude.
That could be cool. I haven't seen it, so I could like watch a
Oh,
banger that I haven't seen.
dude, Ghost in the Shell and Point Break. I might just
I'm doing it. I'm
I
picking
might
Ghost
go
in the
Venom.
Shell. I'm
Whoa,
picking
over
Ghost.
Psycho?
I'm locking it in. Yeah,
Over Psycho.
I love Psycho. Psycho's a great movie, but I've never seen Ghost in the Shell. I could love Ghost in the Shell.
Ghost in the Shell is so. I love Ghost in the Shell.
I
Fuck
think
yeah, this is.
I do like picking things I haven't seen before for the podcast.
Yeah,
I could watch Psycho tonight if I want to.
yeah, yeah. I get that. All right, cool. I don't even know if we have to cut
Sick,
any of that out. I feel like we
sick.
just went straight through. So
I'm excited. This is gonna be rad.
I thought we were gonna do like Point Psycho or Psycho Break, but I think we're doing Ghost in
Ghost
the
in the
Point
Break.
Break.
Ghost break in the shell.
No, I think Ghost in the Break.
Ghost
Ghost in the Point Break.
post in the
In the
shake.
post in the bell.
Post in the bell.
Post in the Brell.
Post in the brell. No, I think Ghost in the Break might. I like that. Or
Point Brost in the Shell. Ghost in the Shoint
uh,
Break.
joint break.
I like that.
I like
Ghost
that
in the
actually.
Shoint
Ghost in the
Break.
joint break. I like that a lot.
All right. Yeah. Fuck yeah. All right. Dude, honestly, those are both like I I've been wanting to pick Ghost in the Shell. I've been wanting to rewatch it.
Dude,
But yeah,
nice.
Ghost in the Shell is awesome. And I really like there's a sequel too. It's called like Ghost in the Shell 2 like Innocence or something like that. I forget the full title. But yeah, those are definitely both movies that I've been wanting to pick, and I'm happy to.
This is gonna be sick.
Yeah. All right. Ghost in the Joint Break
Ghost in the
coming in
joint
two
break. Two
weeks.
weeks.
So get out there and watch those. Next week, yeah, like we said, found footage and then Ghost in the Joint Break and then Christmas. And then it'll be fucking 2026, which is ridiculous, but
Oh man.
yeah. So if you guys are watching on YouTube, subscribe, hit the notifications, comment down below. Comment down below what you think about these movies. I mean, hopefully these are like pretty widely seen movies. Hopefully people have seen Venom and Lilo and Stitch. And so comment down below what you think of them. Uh, and yeah, if we're on the podcast apps, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon. We're on Letterboxd, Mind Your Movies, all one word. Both of us have our own letterboxds that are linked in the bio there. So you can follow us there. And I think that's all you gotta say. I'm fucking pumped for Ghosts in the Short Break.
Yes. Ghost in the joint break. This is gonna be a sick episode.
Yes, it will be. And don't forget to mind your movies.